Hey guys, this is Tony Benson with Wealth Builders HQ and creator of Patterns in a Flash. We're going to go back and review the pattern of the week from last week and see how they did, if they triggered or not, and see what else is hanging out. Actually, there was a bunch came off the list this last week. But before we do that, let's get the disclaimer out of the way. I am not a registered broker-dealer investment advisor. I will not give you any recommendations or advice. Everything that we do here is purely for educational purposes. If we do happen to mention a trade or say anything about a trade, just assume it is a paper or a practice trade. For regulatory reasons, we do not discuss funded trading here. So here's what we saw last week. We looked at Beaky and Cisco and Norwegian Cruise Lines. So let's hop over to the charts and see what they look like. BEKE, it's KE Holdings. Frankly, I'm not even sure what they do, which I know some people think is totally crazy, but give me a ticker symbol and a chart. It doesn't really matter, does it? This company is not that old. On a public basis, at least, it came public in 2020, last year, in the middle of the pandemic. Took off from about 40, ran to 75, danced around that level for a few months, and then it just dropped. And I recall watching it back here. Get a little more in there real quick. Whoops. I don't remember what the news, there was some kind of news in here that created this big drop. I can't remember exactly what it was. But I was day trading back in here, and I've still watched it here. Picked up some of these nice little moves in here just on an intraday basis. But we got a nice little double bottom that has formed, and it has broken. It's rallied back up and broke back above the midpoint there. And it's just, at this point today, looking like it's about to trigger an entry point. In fact, it missed it by 10 cents today. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. This is a highly volatile stock. So it will, obviously, the more volatility, the more risk you have. But we're still watching this and see what happens tomorrow. So Cisco kind of triggered. It depends on if you would have pulled the trigger or not. Because it was, well, let's see, when was that? The 13th? That's the day we looked at it as a pattern of the week. And it was sitting right on that range, gapped up the next day. So then the question becomes, would you have pulled it or not when it came down the next day? I did not. I didn't take this one. I saw it. I looked at it. And I went, yeah, no. Going to leave it alone. And I'm glad I did. Because it would have triggered, well, what's the low of that day, actually? The low of that day is 54.57, exactly at the entry point. So hopefully you didn't have a contingent order that said, if it hits this price, get me in. Because that may have triggered, and then you'd stopped out the next day. But if you did, you did. You know, it is what it is. It's part of trading. It's a big part of trading, taking losses on trades. Norwegian, we were still looking at that ascending triangle. It was right, where's the 13th? That day right there. So was looking at possibly holding this resistance level, which it did not. It did dance around. It hit the entry point the next day, but not with much. It was up a little bit, then came down. Another one, I didn't pull the trigger on this. It's earnings season, and there's just a lot of craziness right now. It's really volatile, so I've been a lot more cautious lately than I normally am. So I did not pull the trigger on this, and I'm glad I didn't. Another one, just like Cisco, I'm glad I held off on it. I waited, was trying to be patient. So that is it for just a 3, short and sweet, very simple, nothing too terribly exciting, really. None of them actually triggered. So with that being said, it's the Paddle Whistler signing off and reminding you that if you're going to fail at just one thing, fail at quitting. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Folks, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the training. Now, if you did, be sure to give us a thumbs up and go ahead and hit the subscribe button right over here and hit the bell to keep up with all the latest trading content. And oh, did you know that we have a podcast? Supercharge your trading education with the Stock Market Millionaire, which you can find in the description down below. And while you're there, you can also find other amazing free trading resources that I've put together just for you.